Earthlings. So it's an interesting day today. This is the 16th of November, and this was the day that in 2005 Donald Watson died, and he was aged 95. And Donald Watson is the best known of the co-founders of the vegan social movement, which was begun in Britain in 1944. So I just wanted to show you something. So this is a article that I wrote for a VegFest series, which is still online. You can find that at VegFest UK. And it's a whole series. It's called And If You Know Your History. So this one is about Donald Watson himself. And I just picked out this little section here in the sense that Watson was asked later in his life what he wanted people to realize about the Vegan Society. And he said he wanted them to realize that they're on to something really big, that they're involved in something very big. This goes to the ethos of what the vegan social movement is all about. And sometimes it can be forgotten with the reducitarian attempts to slim down the meaning of veganism, nothing to do with humans, or it's a diet, those kind of reducitarian efforts that we get from various groups and individuals. And so the founding pioneers of the movement had a grander vision of veganism than that. And they thought that by liberating other animals, that we would liberate ourselves. The vegan social movement was begun during the Second World War. It was the second global conflict in short order. And they really tried to work out what was going on with humanity. Why had humanity become so violent, essentially? And Donald Watson, for example, said that for many people, the war was a shattering experience. So they tried, the vegan pioneers, they tried to kind of work out what was going wrong with humanity. Why indeed had we almost like in their kind of thoughts that we de-evolved. And they thought that veganism was part of the solution to this. In fact, they thought that veganism stood for the moral evolution of humanity. It would bring us out of this moral trough, if you like, back to some kind of situation where we acted as responsible moral beings. And they really did think that veganism could save humanity. In fact, Donald Watson says at one point that the vegan movement is the greatest cause on earth. And he says that because it's the only one that can save humanity. And for them then, we're talking about a very big idea, probably bigger than, like the Vegan Society, for example, is a bit of a corporate entity now. It was much more seen as a liberation movement when it was founded. Leslie Cross, another one of the founders, said that we're not so much welfare, we're about liberation. But they meant animal liberation, which meant human liberation. It was an overarching kind of idea. And I'm not going to use the intersectional word because that's obviously very controversial at the moment, but their ideas were this issue of entanglements. It was about justice. So you could say that the founding principles of the vegan social movement were justice and justice for all, right across the board. And that by liberating other animals, we would liberate ourselves because this would create a more moral world, and again, across the board. And so this is the kind of radical vision of the vegan movement, which shouldn't ever be lost. It should always be remembered because it's a great vision. And it's a great revolutionary vision for the future. And of course, with the climate crisis right now, we probably need this vision more than ever. So let's not forget our history. And especially on this day, the day of the death of Donald Watson, who, as I said, was probably the most famous of the co-founders of the Vegan Society. On this day, I wanted to mark his death and also say a few things about the history of the movement. So I'm going to keep this short, Earthlings. Take care. I'll see you again. Bye for now.